Hi, I'm Katie McGee. We are live in Denver at the broadcast studio here at GBTA Convention 2025. I'd like to introduce you right now to Stuart Davenport, the Chief Product Officer for Conferma. Thank you, Stuart.
Nice to be here. Thanks for the invite.
Nice to have you here. So something that we've been talking about a lot today are virtual cards, and these are clearly on the rise. What is holding back hotel payments, though, from catching up with the rest of this travel experience?
It's amazing, really. Virtual cards are not necessarily the problem. Every hotel in the world can accept and process a virtual card. The problem is the infrastructure. So typically and classically, the way that we have to communicate to hotels is quite cumbersome. It's prone to error, and it's that error and that rekey of details into the property management system that really starts to cause a problem for the traveler. And that problem starts to rise through the fact that when they want to check in, the card's not there, they may have to reach for their own form of payment. They're trying to go through a laborious expense reclaim process. So for us, it's all about what can we do to support corporates to provide that centralized corporate hotel payment experience where it should be an invisible payment experience.
Interesting. So we still hear about faxes being used to send payment details. When I saw that, I was like, wait, what? Why does that still happen in 2025? And what's the knock-on effect for travelers?
It is odd. So, I was speaking with someone earlier, and again, I'm here at GBTA. There's lots of businesses talking about large language model, Gen AI, and I'm here to talk about, fax and the issues of fax machines. So fax was, it was implemented for hotels because it was perceived as a really secure base way to communicate credit card details so the hotel can receive that message, rekey it into their property management system, and we're good. The payment can be processed. The problem is that legacy, outdated, manual way to communicate is just not fit for purpose anymore. So this 4% of our global volume still depends on fax. 12% here in the US, we're faxing these credit cards. Hotels have been classically dependent on the fax machine to receive that information. But for us, we need to deprecate that. So we're announcing here at GBTA that as of 2026, throughout 26, we'll be deprecating support for fax, and we'll be shifting hotels onto our established Conferma Connect Direct platform where we can streamline and provide an off-ramp really for hotels to leave behind that legacy technology and move forward with something much more seamless.
That sounds like that's going to be really interesting to watch roll out and get put into play.
Absolutely. Everyone in the industry wants to solve this problem. It's the bane. Everyone understands the potential and where virtual cards do work. They work amazingly. They solve so many problems. Why am I, as a traveler, having to use my own money to pay for business expenses? If only there was a seamless experience. Why can't I have that Uber experience with my hotel stays? I want to be able to go online, book within my travel policy, have that paid for me, check in, provide my ID, check out, and that's it. That's all I need to do. Behind the scenes, my invoice can be sent back to my company, etc. But it's a seamless experience. We need to make sure that we can provide that consistently across the industry. Conferma Connect Direct solves that. So today we're also announcing with regards to not only just deprecating fax, but the endorsement from the marketplace as well. So we are announcing that we're engaged following our Hilton. We actually had a successful Hilton launch in April, where we connected to 9,000 Hilton properties, and we're avoiding now sending Hilton emails and faxes. Hundreds of thousands of documents are no longer in people's inboxes or in the back office somewhere. They're now integrated at the point of sale. So that Conferma Connect Direct proposition that we've built out has now had engagement from more partners in the marketplace. So Thon Hotels, Strawberry Hotels, Omni Hotels, and Wyndham are all proactively engaged with Conferma, and we're integrating with their property management system to streamline that payment experience. And it's really nice to see the feedback from the marketplace with the largest global travel management companies in the world, BCD Travel, CWT, and Flight Centre, endorsing that this is going to solve problems for their travelers.
We like to problem solve. Going back to virtual cards for a minute, what makes them work for travelers, hotels, and TMCs? And then who feels the pain if they should fail?
Everyone feels the pain when they fail, but ultimately it's the traveler that feels that straight away. So they're the ones that experience that friction, the delay, the embarrassment at check-in or check-out, that suddenly, they've got to, put a couple of $1,000s down to cover this hotel room. That's the problem. That's then triggering negative feedback to the travel management company. I'm the travel manager. There's extra cost in servicing that. And there's queues at the check-in desk for the hotel. So it's really important to avoid that manual opportunity for failure and solve it by having that embedded experience and directly connect to those hotel property management systems.
You and the team at Conferma are doing really exciting stuff. Thank you for stopping by and talking to us about it. What a pleasure. Stuart,
Great.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you for joining us. My name is Katie McGee. We are live in Denver at the broadcast studio at GBTA Convention 2025. Thank you for watching.